Welcome to Vetted Shorts, the channel where the mysteries of the universe meet meticulous investigation. Today, we're diving into a topic that has enchanted, confounded, and uplifted generations. The enigmatic Nordic aliens, sometimes called the Space Brothers. These extraterrestrials are said to be benevolent, strikingly human-like, and uplifting in their message, a curious blend of science fiction and spiritual awakening. But who are they, really? Do they walk among us? Did someone truly meet them face to face? Stay with us as we peel back the layers, journey through eyewitness accounts, and confront the strange, almost mythic role the Nordics occupy in UFO lore. Before we begin, picture this. It's the 1950s, an era of post-war optimism and atomic anxiety. Society is looking to the stars both in awe and fear. Into this tension steps a figure, George Adamski, who would claim contact not just with any alien, but with tall, radiant beings straight out of an Aryan fever dream. He met Orthon, a Nordic from Venus, but Adamski was only the start. Countless others would claim northern-looking visitors beam down wisdom, warnings, and even friendship. Let's unravel these claims, who the Nordics are, what they want from us, and why they appear so, well, relatable. Origins of the Nordic alien archetype. The Nordics stand apart from the little gray men so common in pop culture. When people describe Nordics, their accounts are oddly consistent. These beings are usually between 6 and 7 feet tall, lithe yet athletic, with pale skin, golden hair, and piercing blue eyes. And it's not just their physical beauty that stuns witnesses, it's their demeanor. They radiate calm, empathy, and a kind of spiritual wisdom that borders on the angelic. Their genesis in UFO lore can be traced to the very roots of the contactee movement. George Adamski's 1952 encounter with Orthon is the cornerstone. According to Adamski, Orthon was a Venusian who stepped out of a flying saucer in the California desert to give transcendent advice and warnings about humanity's nuclear ambitions. Think about that for a second. A being from Venus, walking Earth, looking like a Scandinavian model, urging us to choose peace over war. Is this fantasy, or does it echo something deeper about human hope? Adamski was not alone. In the decades to follow, a flood of contactees, ordinary folks from all walks of life, surfaced saying similar things. They came to help. They look just like us. They want us to evolve. Many describe deeply emotional, sometimes telepathic encounters with these visitors. Physical description, the ultimate ideal. Why do the Nordics look so, well, Nordic? The answer is debated. Some say it's just projection, a wishful image drawn from the same archetypal well as elves, angels, or ancient gods. Tall, blonde, and blue-eyed, the Nordics might be humanity's subconscious image of enlightenment and purity. Others argue there's a conspiratorial subtext. The Nazi regime, with its obsession over the Aryan ideal, actually paralleled the Nordic image years before UFOs landed in pop culture. But the contactee movement remained rooted in messages of peace, not conquest. For them, the Nordics showed that benevolence could come in any form. But is their image a mirror for our aspirations, or something more? Let's think about their presence in folklore. Legends of the white gods or tall, luminous messengers are found across cultures, from Norse lore to Mesoamerican myths. Are the Nordics simply a modern mask for ancient archetypes? Behavioral traits, Earth's guardian angels? What really sets the Nordics apart, at least according to witness testimony, is their guiding, almost paternal aspect. Unlike the coldly clinical abductors or the mysterious men in black, Nordics are inclined to reach out spiritually. They exude empathy. They rarely, if ever, use force. Instead, they warn, mentor, and sometimes even heal. Frankly, the stories sometimes verge on the miraculous. In one account, a woman described being telepathically guided to avoid an accident by a tall, blonde visitor who appeared at her bedside. Another person claimed a Nordic cured a terminal illness by placing their hands over the affected area, transmitting warmth and light. It's in these benevolent acts that many see the Nordics as cosmic missionaries, heralds of a better, unified future. They warn of nuclear war, environmental collapse, or the dangers of technology untethered from compassion. But why such concern for us, a species so prone to self-sabotage? Is it pure altruism or something deeper? Agendas and allegiances, why are they here? The Nordics, if their proponents are to be believed, are here to foster spiritual advancement. In the classic contactee accounts, they position themselves as guardians, watchers on the edge of the playground, intervening only when humanity is about to cross a dangerous line. Their stated mission is consistently benevolent: warnings about nuclear annihilation, advice on environmental stewardship, and encouragement of peaceful coexistence. These are the themes, but not everyone is convinced. Some skeptics ask, if they're so benevolent, why haven't they made themselves undeniable? Why stick to select individuals and cryptic messages? One peculiar twist: some contactees claim the Nordics are engaged in a quiet battle with other alien types. The Greys, those emotionally distant abductors from Zeta Reticuli, are sometimes cast as rivals. Cold logic versus the Nordics' warm care. So are the Nordics galactic social workers, or simply clever manipulators with an agenda too complex for us to grasp? The Orthon encounter, George Adamski and the first space brother. Let's return to the spark of this whole narrative, George Adamski. His meeting with Orthon, documented in both interviews and books, set the tone for the Nordics mythos. In late 1952, Adamski and 6 companions watched as a craft landed in the desert near Desert Center, California. From it stepped Orthon, a benevolent figure with long hair and translucent blue eyes. The message? Stop nuclear testing. Pursue friendship over fear. But Adamski's story twists further. Orthon, he said, was not alone. There was a galactic confederation of space brothers, all working in harmony. Adamski claimed follow-ups, rides in ships, glimpses of Venusian civilization, even journeys to the moon and Mars. The message, though, always came back to values: compassion, peace, and the urgent need to turn away from warlike tendencies. Critics called Adamski a charlatan, a master storyteller harnessing the power of Cold War-era hopes and fears. But the archetype stuck. Orthon and his kin would continue to appear in tales from Scandinavia to South America, always bearing that same gentle warning. The contactee movement, cultural icon or delusion? The contactee movement of the 1950s and 60s, sparked by Adamski but soon much larger, was never just about flying saucers. It dealt in profound questions. Can we, as a species, transform and transcend, guided by outside wisdom? Nordic aliens became a mirror for those wishing for salvation from above. Their message was less about science than about hope. For the desperate, the imaginative, or the simply lost, the Space Brothers promised a universe in which someone cares. Yet not all was light. The movement faced ridicule. The space race made Venus and Mars seem more hostile than habitable. Skeptics wondered if the Nordics were anything other than psychological fantasy, but the stories did not fade. In the 1970s and beyond, Nordics began turning up in abduction stories, sometimes helping humans escape Greys or intervening at the last second to offer comfort. Twists and controversies. There are darker undercurrents to the Nordic story. Some accounts tell of hidden motives, not so much manipulation as paternalism. Are the Nordics keeping us as pets, or are they really after humanitarian progress? Another twist: a few abductees claim the Nordics have hybridization schemes, though in most accounts the experiences are far less traumatic than with other alleged alien types. Is there guidance, gentle oversight, or subtle interference? Even deeper, some suggest a transdimensional origin. Nordics aren't just spacemen, but ascended beings, popping into physicality only when needed. Angels in spacesuits, perhaps. One of the most tantalizing suggestions is the theory that ancient history's gods and angels were actually Nordics, that every culture's tales of sky people or star gods stem from the same phenomena, now reinterpreted through the prism of saucer-shaped craft. Contemporary influence: Nordic aliens in modern culture. Even if you've never heard of Adamski or Orthon, the image of the tall, benevolent, blonde alien is everywhere. The space angel motif turns up in Star Trek, The Day the Earth Stood Still, The X-Files, and countless comic books. Some say the Nordics archetype has changed. Today they're as likely to appear as mysterious guardians in dreams and meditative visions as they are in nuts and bolts UFO sightings. Their message, though, stays remarkably consistent: mature, evolve, seek peace. The question remains: are these real encounters, or is the human psyche simply crying out for cosmic guidance? Science, skepticism, and the search for truth. Scientists, especially astronomers, point out that the physical Venus or Mars are deeply inhospitable, making Venusian Nordics a real long shot. However, some modern theorists suggest the real answer lies in extra-dimensional realities, or that Venus is a stand-in for somewhere far more distant. Abduction researchers and psychologists suggest it may all stem from sleep paralysis, fantasy-prone personalities, or cultural memes. Yet the individuals who report these encounters are often ordinary people, with little to gain and sometimes much to lose. Then there's the tantalizing possibility that, if the universe is as vast as we suspect, maybe, just maybe, at least one benevolent, beautiful civilization is watching us, rooting for us, sending emissaries who look just like we wish we could be. Why the Nordic alien endures? Perhaps the real reason the Nordics endure is the simplest: hope. In a universe that can seem cold, random, and indifferent, the Space Brothers suggest there's someone out there who cares whether humanity makes it or not. That even in our darkest hours, someone might intervene. Or maybe the Nordics are an echo of our better selves, a way to imagine what we might become if we took the path of empathy and wisdom. Conclusion and call to action. What's the truth of the Nordics? Are they messengers of light, manifestations of our yearning, or simply the dream of a better tomorrow given form? Maybe the answer is all or none of the above. But as we continue searching for meaning among the stars, the benevolent gaze of the Space Brothers reminds us that curiosity, compassion, and hope might just be the most important guides of all. What do you think? Are the Nordics real extraterrestrial visitors, uplifted myths, or social psychology at work? Leave your thoughts below and let us know what strange subject you'd like us to investigate next. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video if you want to see more deep dives from Vetted Shorts, the place where mysteries are always welcome and nobody is ever ridiculed for asking, what if? See you next time, and keep questioning.